Harlem Nights made crime look funny, power look stylish, and success feel eternal. But off-screen, the price was brutal. Now in 2026, their lives reveal the truth. The night never ended, and you'd never recognize who survived it. Eddie Murphy as Quick. In the film, Murphy played Quick, a sharp-tongued hustler navigating the violent underworld of 1930s Harlem, while also serving as co-writer and creative force behind the project. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Murphy's career followed a dramatic arc of reinvention and retreat. Massive box office hits kept him wealthy and visible, yet his cultural dominance slowly faded. By 2026, Eddie Murphy is 65 years old. Still among Hollywood's most influential and successful comedians, he now works selectively across film, voice acting, and producing. Richard Pryor as Sugar Ray. In the role of Sugar Ray, Pryor embodied raw authority and street wisdom, bringing a dangerous edge that only a real-life legend with scars to match could project. By the late 1980s, Pryor's struggles were no longer hidden. He was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, a degenerative disease that progressively stole his physical strength and speech. Pryor married 7 times to 5 different women, cycling through passion, reconciliation, and divorce, reflecting a restless inner life that fame and money could not soothe. Richard Pryor died on December 10, 2005, at the age of 65. Redd Foxx as Uncle Bubba. In the role of Uncle Bubba, Foxx brought old-school swagger and razor-sharp timing, channeling decades of lived experience into a character who felt less like fiction and more like history walking onto the screen. Despite enormous earnings, Foxx lived lavishly and mismanaged his finances, falling deeply into debt. Professionally, Foxx kept working, appearing in films like Harlem Nights and returning to television in a desperate attempt to stabilize his life. On October 11, 1991, Redd Foxx died of a heart attack at 68 while rehearsing The Royal Family. Della Reese as Vera. In the role of Vera, the commanding and elegant madam, Reese projected authority, warmth, and resilience. In the 1970s, Reese was diagnosed with lupus, a chronic autoimmune disease that caused debilitating pain, fatigue, and depression. Yet even during these struggles, she continued to work, later finding renewed purpose and stability through television projects that allowed her to balance acting with her physical limitations. Della Reese passed away at her home in Encino, Los Angeles, on November 19, 2017, at the age of 86. Michael Lerner as Bugsy Calhoun. Cast as the ruthless gangster Bugsy Calhoun, he delivered a sharp, intimidating performance that cemented his reputation as a natural antagonist. Roles in films like Barton Fink and Godzilla kept him visible, but rarely allowed him to escape the narrow corridor Hollywood assigned him. As younger faces replaced him and studio priorities shifted, leading opportunities thinned, and his once steady career settled into a pattern of supporting appearances rather than reinvention. Michael Lerner died on April 8, 2023, at the age of 81, Danny Aiello as Phil Cantone, bringing a grounded, world-weary menace to mob enforcer Phil Cantone that made the character feel strikingly real. As the years passed, Aiello continued working steadily, appearing in films such as Moonstruck and Leon, The Professional, but his health slowly declined. The industry's pace grew less forgiving, and offers became sporadic. Danny Aiello died on December 12, 2019, at the age of 86, in a hospital in New Jersey after a brief illness. Arsenio Hall as Crying Man. Cast as the eccentric Crying Man, Hall used only minutes of screen time to steal attention, signaling a comic presence that felt fresh, unpredictable, and perfectly tuned to the film's rhythm. But the rise was fast, and the fall even faster. As ratings slipped and network politics shifted, the show was abruptly canceled in 1994, leaving Hall suddenly untethered. Offers slowed, the spotlight dimmed, and a performer once everywhere seemed to vanish almost overnight. By 2026, Arsenio Hall is 70, living largely out of the public eye. Layla Rochon as Sunshine. Cast as Sunshine, the glamorous and seductive woman of the night, Rochon embodied the film's polished allure, her beauty instantly commanding attention even in a role with limited screen time. That beauty soon became both her calling card and her cage. She was repeatedly cast as the beautiful woman, rarely offered complexity or emotional depth. As the industry shifted and younger faces emerged, opportunities narrowed, and the momentum she once carried began to slip quietly away. As of 2026, 62-year-old Layla Rochon lives largely out of the public eye. Charlie Murphy as Gusto. Cast as Gusto, a small supporting character, Murphy barely registered at the time, overshadowed not only by the film's legendary cast, but also by the towering fame of his younger brother, Eddie Murphy. Just as his career stabilized and respect followed, his health collapsed. Murphy was diagnosed with leukemia, a battle he kept largely private while continuing to work sporadically, even as treatments weakened him and opportunities once again slipped away. Charlie Murphy passed away on April 12, 2017, at 57, after battling leukemia. Robin Harris as Benny Wilson. The loud, unpredictable hustler whose scene-stealing energy delivered some of the film's biggest laughs. Unlike many comedians chasing polish, Harris leaned into raw authenticity, making his comedy feel urgent, lived in, and dangerous, the kind that signals a star just before ignition. That ignition never came. On March 18, 1990, less than a year after Harlem Nights was released, Harris died suddenly at the age of 36 from cardiac arrhythmia at the Four Seasons Hotel in Chicago. 37 years after Harlem Nights, the laughter still echoes, but the lives behind it collapsed in silence. Fame faded, careers vanished, and some stars were gone before Hollywood even learned their names. Which journey stayed with you the longest? Share your thoughts below and stay with us as we continue uncovering the untold stories behind Hollywood's brightest nights and darkest turns.